Who doesn't love the Beatles? The big screen debut of the Beatles in the rock and roll film, which you just saw there, Hard Day's Night, not only became a cultural phenomenon, it also set a new standard for the rock film. Now a digitally restored version is being released in 100 cities on July 4th to commemorate the 50th anniversary of its premiere. Joining us now to tell us more is WSJ contributor Steve Dollar. Hi, Steve. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. So when this film hit screens in 1964, how was it so different from the pop music musicals of the 50s that it made fans go wild?
Well, I think one of the main things is that it's actually not just a great pop music movie, but it's a great movie. And the director, Richard Lester, had a real knack for comedy and an established track record there. So before the Beatles engaged with it, there was already a lot of really talented people involved. And in a sense, it embraced the moment that it was creating, so it wasn't almost like the movie wasn't just about the Beatles. It kind of was a Beatle.
So tell us a little bit about the movie. What's the storyline? What goes on in the film?
It's kind of a slice of life of the Beatles going from Liverpool to London to do a TV studio performance. And they take this train trip, and things rapidly get kind of derailed, actually.
Right. So it's a little bit of a comedy.
Yeah.
It's a comedy as well, right?
Oh, very much so. It's a very loose, riffy comedy, although it was very scripted. They used a lot of cameras, and the script was full of one-liners that they could feed to each of the Beatles, so they didn't really have to remember a lot of dialogue. They could just kind of riff, and it keeps it real loose.
And it had a huge impact on the next generation of artists and filmmakers, didn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it really was kind of like watching the Big Bang of the rock and roll movie, and generations of filmmakers have emulated it. And you had the Monkees, you even had the Spice Girls later. That movie was, such a direct influence from that, and also endless music videos. Pretty much any music video you see that has the musicians running around and doing stuff is influenced by Hard Day's Night.
Absolutely. And tell us a little bit about this restored version. Was the restoration extensive? Was the soundtrack remixed?
The soundtrack was remixed for stereo and surround sound, and there was a lot of subtlety involved in kind of matching things from, the kind of documentary sound that was used on the film, the sound effects that were used, and then going to the music. So it's a very smooth sounding film now. And the film itself was in good shape. I don't think they had to do too much work with that, but in transferring it to 4K, it is now playable in all the kind of contemporary digital formats. You can download it. You can, watch it on a big screen, as everyone will, July 4th, or you can get the DVD and Blu-ray.
That's right. Criterion Collection is releasing a DVD and Bluray, right? So you can watch it at home.
It's out now.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Steve Dollar.